History gives us the understanding, and it gives us the connections, and allows us to interpret, and helps us to make sense of our place in the world and in the country and in the community.
The things that people did before us, that's what built the communities that we live in today. And so creating that link between what we're doing now and what the people did who came before us is important. It helps us understand our place in the bigger picture and how the things that we're doing now are going to be the history that people in the future celebrate.
We have so many exemplars of the ways in which Canadians have showed courage, have showed inspiration, have showed innovation, have really had an impact on the development of our society.
C'est beau de montrer ces modèles de gens à nos jeunes d'aujourd'hui. Leur dire, oui, votre réussite individuelle, oui, mais qu'est-ce que vous allez apporter à votre collectivité?
Our community saw this project as an opportunity to tell our own history in our own way, and ultimately that brings our history forward. It renders our history visible.
It's about the entire community protecting and promoting their connection to their history.
Quand on implique les gens, quand ça vient du cœur, on est beaucoup plus porté à être sympathique à cette histoire-là et à la promouvoir, donc la garder vivante en parlant aux autres, en faisant en sorte qu'elle n'est pas seulement qu'une histoire dans un livre, mais qu'elle est une histoire vécue.
Encouraging them to dig a little bit deeper into history and realize that there are other things to know, and especially about women in history, I think is important too. That sometimes gets sort of, you know, an afterthought, a tag on, and women have been vital to the growth and the strength of our country.
Particularly in schools where young people are taking up issues around citizenship and identity. Those are really strong themes and within the social studies curriculum, especially in schools. And so that idea of what it means to be Canadian really speaks to history.
As academics, you don't write books so that real people are going to read them. And what you discovered is, you know, when I discovered that real people read the book and actually were affected by it and changed by it. This is the most phenomenal thing that can happen to any of us who are scholars or who write.
And I think what's most interesting too in 21st century Canadian history is that we have the vantage point of almost 150 years of Canadian history to be able to look critically at some of the ethical decisions that we've made as a country.
Aboriginal history in this country can be connected to the history of the 200, 300 years of settler history.
Being that we are all treaty people, we really need to work together to understand our role in this history and how we move forward with it.
We can't move forward as a nation if we don't look at ourselves honestly and talk openly. It's not about recrimination and blame. It's just about self-understanding and honesty and dialogue.
So whilst the events of the past are static, our interpretation of them is continually evolving and changing.
History is the glue that holds everything together. It creates context, it gives us understanding, and it puts students in the conversation.
If students can see the sort of the thread and the chain links of individuals who have made great changes in this country, I think it can inspire them to make change as well in the future and be part of what Canada is today.
They're able to see how this history really impacts our lives today, and that, you know, Canadian history isn't something from the past, but it's alive and it's living.
It's not just about what's buried in the ground, it's about a living people.
Donc l'implication des gens au niveau de l'histoire nous permet de la vivre, de la connaître et ensuite de la partager avec les autres.
Redonner à nos jeunes le sens, justement, d'appartenir à une grande collectivité. Ça, c'est important et c'est ça que nous offre l'enseignement de l'histoire.
Learning about Canadian history isn't a dry or sterile or purely academic exercise. It's a way to get to know each other, and it's a way to build community. When we talk, debate, disagree, all healthy things in a pluralistic democracy, we get to know each other better and we get to forge a more healthy democratic path. So we can argue till the cows come home, and that's a good thing. We can have different visions of history. We can offer different forms of interpreting history, but it's all a way of building community and getting to know each other better as Canadians.